Hi and good morning, everyone. At least it's morning for me. So today I'm planning to make a potato gnocchi with rustic tomato sauce. So right now I'm going to talk a bit about myself, but if you want to skip straight to the recipe, I'll provide the timestamp. Okay, those of you who are still here. First of all, sorry about the background noise. I don't have a directional mic yet. But the bird singing is very nice, at least in the morning. But it's annoying as shit when you're trying to sleep, but that's another story. Second, again, focus. Yeah. So, as I told you, what I was gonna make, but the reason I'm wanted to talk to you guys right now is as this is pretty early in my YouTube channel. Like it's probably gonna be my second video. You should check out my first video, although you should not follow it, and I made that for fun. But this one you can follow along. I won't be providing exact what you need. It's more as me vlogging of what I'm cooking and just me showing off what I cook. I The reason I do this because I'm an aspiring chef, and I do not because the thing is, right, sometimes something may turn out bad or it may be good, but the reason I'm saying aspiring chef is because I aspire to be good, I aspire to be great. And the thing with that is, I'm not perfect right now, or I'm not even good, you could say. Well, I think I'm good, but I know I'm good enough. I'm good enough to know that I'm not good compared to those Michelin star head chefs or any line chef, sous chef, line cook. And I have no training like whatsoever. I am self-taught at the moment, and I want to go to culinary. So hopefully soon I go to culinary school and get proper training. So that is the reason why I do not want to give any uh, instructions at all. I'm just making a vlogging format, and I might say how much salt or this I'm using. I'll taste as I go, because I do not have a set recipe. Well, I have a set of ingredients, but still like experimental. So you'll see as I create the dish. So I could say this video is about creating a rustic tomato sauce gnocchi instead of a recipe for one. And I hope you enjoy the video. I'm trying to get better at producing videos with my camera, the Sony ZV-E10, and I'm still not used to look directly into the camera. Sometimes I'm looking over here where the screen is to see if I'm in focus and everything. But hopefully that goes away in some time. So feedback from y'all would also help. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm an aspiring my chef. My name is Dhairya. I covered that, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So here I have a bunch of tomatoes, and I'm gonna oven roast these instead of boil these, especially because Indian tomatoes are not that flavorful, and that works really well with Indian cooking, as we add a lot of spices and everything. So the blander flavor profile works, but especially with Italian food where they let the individual ingredients shine, you need higher quality or different flavor profile of ingredients which highlight their own flavor. So, roasting this will concentrate the flavor, whereas boiling it in water will actually release a lot of it. Like, because these don't have a lot of flavors. So, that's why I'm going to oven roast these, and it's better as it concentrates it more. So, I'll just show you how you should cut them. So, you want to cut off this top. Oh, shit. You want to cut off this top over here, so you're going to just slice it. If I would have a smaller knife, a paring knife, I would core it out, but as I do not have that on hand at the moment, all you have to do is do that. Maybe it's slightly slimmer, but just cut it into big chunks of 4. That's it. That's all you have to do. So like, like this. Now what you could also do is cut these into 4. So So what I did there was I actually cut it right below this, so this is left, so these ones don't have any of that white part. And then what we'll do with these, I'll angle the knife like this and we'll cut it off, so this part goes and some of the tomatoes not wasted. So look, the white part is gone and more tomato is used. So I think I'll just do these for the rest like that only. This one doesn't have, this one doesn't have, this one has. So my tomatoes are prepped and yep. Okay, so right now, let me just move my knife to the side. I have gotten around 4 smaller potatoes, or you could use 2 bigger ones. So, oops, the normal potatoes you get in the Indian market, because I know not everyone has uh, the potatoes you should use for gnocchi. So, I am just gonna peel them. So, time lapse this, I guess. I made a mistake for one thing. I forgot to do one thing with the potatoes. Not a big deal. To boil them evenly, you need to cut them. So you have to cut them in half lengthwise once, and then you want to cut them in lengthwise again. And then you want to cut them in thirds, as you can see. So just not too precise, not too unprecise. Try to get them as even as possible. So if, that was one of the larger potatoes, so that needed to be cut in thirds. But if I just cut this in half, it'll be equivalent to one of these pieces. So while cooking, you have to make sure that's not like sure for everything. So if I have a really small potato, I might just need to cut it in half, or a big potato, I might need to cut it in thirds or fourths. So just pay attention. And yeah, again, this only needs to be cut in half. This, I'll go boil this now. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put the tomatoes on the baking tray and I'll tell you what I am baking it at. So I'll just spray some oil, olive oil on the bottom, so tomatoes don't burn and stick. Look at them tomatoes. Spread them out evenly. A spritz of oil on top. So, and to extract, to pull the moisture of the tomatoes and to concentrate the flavor, a bit of salt. Just a pinch. A bit big pinch, but just a pinch. So I will be baking this at around 250 Celsius for maybe about 20 minutes to half an hour. Depending on that, I'll just see the progress of the tomatoes, how much water has it, how much has it concentrated, how much has it cooked, and I'll tell you later. Yeah. About for one plate, so I'll just slice them. So the potatoes have cooled down to the point where I can just hold them. They're still warm, but they are fork tender. So, oh, just break apart. So you don't want it more than fork tender, but you also don't want it less, otherwise it'll be raw. So I don't have a potato ricer, so I'm just gonna manually just mash them. So this table setup I have done is pretty high up. Otherwise, you can put your full weight into it. But yeah, with a manual masher, you can't really over mash them. Like with a ricer, you should not. If you have a ricer, you should only do one pass. Uh, but manual mashing, I don't think you can overdo it much, as it's much harder to overdo. But you can overdo. So like you're like, oh, it's not thin enough or anything. So when you manual mash, you have to, instead of mashing this, you have to focus on getting every single piece to a mash state. I'll just show you what I mean. This little big few whole chunks. Okay, now everything is mashed, but there's like very large chunks. So let me pull it up. Wait, me focus in. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. So there's still pretty large chunks here and there. So that is not what we want, and we have to mash them a bit more. I'm right now pulling manual focus. Sorry about that. But as I'm moving a lot in the frame, the autofocus will get confused and keep on going up and down. So this is the reason why I'm doing manual focus. So just go in a circle and evenly mash everything. You want it so that everything goes through those holes. That is the consistency we want. Look at that. We just even it out. As you can see, it is much more uniform now. There are tiny chunks here and there, but one or two more passes should get rid of it. So the bell just rang. I'll be right back. There we go. So this is something I learned while I was at the summer camp I was going to. Instead of kneading the dough, you use a bench scraper and you kind of chop it in. So I'm just gonna flour my base so the potatoes don't stick to it. Bit more flour. And I'm gonna add in my potatoes. Not all at once. I'm gonna add a little bit more flour on top. Oops. A lot of flour everywhere. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna chop it in. So let's do this. This is why I did not want to over knead it earlier, because this also needs the dough. So it's a shaggy dough currently. And the benefit to doing this, is that you get a much fluffier and pillowy gnocchi. Has to be rollable, so you can roll out your gnocchi. So I'll just The reason I'm chopping it is because there's still lumps of potato inside the dough. So you can see tiny, tiny lumps. I don't think you might be able to see in that. Yep. So right now I'm going to roll out the gnocchi dough and I'm going to shape it. So take my bench scraper and I'm going to cut this into 4 equal parts. Set 2 parts aside. Wait, I'll just show you the inside. Oh shit. Not autofocus. But if you can see, there's some, it's nice and fluffy, it's not overworked. So what you want to do is, what you want to do is just make this into a ball. Flour your station. You don't want potato to get stuck. And then what you want to do is just roll. That is all you want to do. So this also counts as kneading, which is why we don't want to ever over knead the dough or properly knead it from the first step. So just that, and just push down and slowly pull out, not too hard, until, yeah, I think this is a good length. So until width of your thumb, basically, width of the thumb, remember that. And yeah, not sticky at all, so that's how I know I've not overworked it. So again, width of the thumb, I am just going to approximate how big I want my gnocchis. So it's actually better if I take the fork, and I'm just doing, you don't have to do this, this is just for me to, so around this big. Take your time with this step. Wow, look at those perfect gnocchis. So I'm just gonna, light fingers, you don't wanna break them or anything. Very delicate. And what I like to do is I like to get ridges on my gnocchi. So let me just actually zoom in to the max. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to take a gnocchi. Actually, I'm going to dip my fork in flour, and I'm just going to take the middle, push down, and take the top and roll off. Look at that. Look at these ridges. Look at these ridges, right? Look at that, beautiful. This will capture all the sauce. Yep. So I'll put that to the side. I'll put all these to the side. Keep track of them. So push down and lightly curve it off. Shape it a bit. Make sure they're all the same shape. It doesn't matter much if they are or not, but you know, make them look nice. Nice and relaxing. I can hear a rickshaw revving in the background for no absolute reason. That one not finished. Don't rush. Take your time. So right now I have water. I've set the water to boil, and so I'll just let that water boil right now. And the tomatoes are done roasting. So what I, just a second. So this is what I mean by roasting the tomatoes. If you were here, you'd be able to smell the aroma from where I am standing, which is pretty far away. And when I get the aroma, it means that the flavor has concentrated. A lot of the water has evaporated. Instead, when you boil, you won't get that nice sweet tomato aroma, especially with Indian tomatoes. So, like with Italian tomatoes, you can boil them and they'll still be really nice and sweet and tangy and acidic. But with Indian tomatoes, you can boil them, it's nice. I prefer to roast mine sometimes. So, for this recipe, because it's a very simple recipe, there's no onions, it's just garlic, basil, and tomato. So the water is boiling right now. So what I'm gonna add, don't mind this pan over here. I'm just heating it up. So you need to add a lot of salt. And actually, I'm just gonna move my camera to the side for 1 second. With gnocchis, right? You have to pull them out as soon as they float up to the top. So I'll take a few, drop them in. So just have to fish them out like this. Lay it on the here. These are all done. Perfect. Not okay. So gnocchis are done boiling. I am heating up my pan, and it looks like it's hot now. And I'm not gonna add the garlic in first because garlic burns. So because I want to toast the gnocchi, I'm a little bit. I want to toast the gnocchi a bit, so it gets nice crunch on it. I'm gonna add oil. Let this get nice and hot. And we're gonna simmer them in the tomato sauce, for flavor. And since the tomatoes are already roasted, it's already built a flavor profile, so I don't have to reduce it more. Otherwise, when you boil the tomatoes, you'll have to reduce it, and because there's excess moisture, you have to concentrate the flavor. But since my tomatoes are roasted, I don't need to do that, and I have blended it right there, it's right next to that. So I did not blend it fully smooth. You can. I kept it slightly chunky because that is how I like it. I have one very funny thing. I have this comically long spoon. I have no idea what it's used for, but it's funny because it's comically long. Well, look how long the spoon is. So I'm just gonna. Turns out the pan is not hot enough because the gnocchi is sticking. Okay, now it's smoking. I know the pan's at a good temp, where I'll add in the gnocchi. So I'll just soon as I get it in, start moving it so it doesn't stick. I'll add more gnocchis in. Comically large spoon, unstick these. Look at that nice brown color that is developing. I think it needs a bit more oil. Wow, my olive oil is now finished. Woo! One fell. Shit. Now I'm going to add the garlic. Some of the gnocchi is sticking, but that is fine. All you have to do is keep on tossing. So if I just keep on tossing, it will separate automatically. If you know how to toss properly, you can toss a bit higher. Okay, now it's good. I'm gonna add my tomatoes in. Look at that, beautiful red. You won't get these from just boiling them. This is from roasting them. The thing is, as I added salt already in the tomatoes while roasting them, the tomatoes are already quite salty, so you don't need much more salt. All you need is a pinch more. A bit more. That is all you need. I'll add in my basil. I kept it in the freezer for it to firm up. It might be better to get an actual spatula while cooking, because the spoon is metal, so it can break the gnocchi. Spatulas won't break the gnocchi. I can just stir it in. Beautiful. Toss. Woo! Pan is hot as fuck. Burnt myself a bit. It is ready. But I'm going to leave it. Because it's hot, I'm going to leave it. And you know what I'm going to do? I have a special ingredient. One of my favorite ingredients. I have bocconcini, which is a smaller mozzarella. So I'm just going to open the pack. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Bocconcini balls. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to slice them up. Take another ball. Oh, I feel bad for my knife. Because I'm... So fresh. So nice. Perfecta. I don't know why I said that, but as I said, we're going to tear basil in now. On top. Oh wow, looks beautiful. Oh, perfect. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I'm done cooking. As you can see, the dish is over here, and this is my reaction to it. So we'll take some cheese, some gnocchis, some basil. This is my bite. Focus, man. I need another bite. Fuck, that's good. Fuck. A cook. It's damn good. I think I'll add a touch of salt while eating it. It's perfectly salted. I just like mine a bit salty, and I added the bocconcini, so touch more salt. Basil, the tomatoes, tangy, acidic, really nice. If I would add one change, I would have added a pinch of sugar to give tomatoes a bit more sweetness. But aside from that, it's damn good.
Brought to you by the Boy Crab Productions.